Hello, I'm Thierry Neuville, and today we're talking about Lightpods. We call it also extra lights, which are the lights which we put on the car when we go to darkness, when we have stages in the evening or in the early morning, where extra lights give us the necessary vision and view to be able to go fast. This is our current setup of light pods we are fitting on the Rally1 car. And as you can see, it's very different to a traditional light pod we have seen 5, 10, 15 and 20 or more years back, where cars were on the beginning using halogen lights, 2 extra lights maximum. At some point there were 4. But obviously technology is improving, and since we are working with LED lights, which have different characteristics and a different spread, and also more opportunities of adjustments. Whatever, we can have lights for a wider angle, such as those bottom lights, or the ones which we call it the pointing lights, which are really the lights which go very deep, very far, to show us drivers, especially at high speed, where is the braking point, what are the conditions far away, and so on. Obviously, those lights are very critical to set up, as you can imagine, because on tarmac the car is not moving too much, but still you have some small movement under acceleration and brake. But when we go to gravel, the setup is completely different because the car is moving a lot. So we need one of the pointers to be on the road when we are accelerating, and the other one on the road when we are braking. So those would have a different setting between gravel and tarmac. The corner lights are always the same. They are on the bottom side end of the bumper, and show us the trees, the ditches, the obstacles close to the apex, but also help to see a bit of the road conditions closer to the car. What to say else? Obviously, we saw in the past that the lights were always integrated into a carbon or fiberglass body. Nowadays, we don't use that anymore, first of all to reduce weight, but also to improve the aerodynamics of the light pod, which is obviously mounted on one of the most critical parts of the car, on the front bumper, where all the aerodynamic is created for the rear wing. So in order to disturb that a minimum, we are using an aluminium structure with very flat and long LEDs, which gives a better aerodynamic effect as well to keep maximum performance of the car. But it's a very important part when it's about night driving. And without, basically, you have no chance. One particular thing about those lights is that on a snow rally or in foggy conditions, obviously we are able to switch off independently each of the lights. Mainly in fog conditions, you try to switch off the strongest lights, which go very deep, to only see in front of the car. Anyhow, you're going much slower when it's foggy. But also, we have yellow covers, which tend to decrease the strength of the light and also to change the color of the light to have better view, not have the brightness, which sometimes could be too bright, especially on rallies like Sweden. Or foggy conditions. I keep usually always the same setting for any conditions, but that's mainly driver dependent and everybody's own liking. That's it. We have talked enough about lights. If you have any question, leave it in the comments.